mustered up the courage to hand Jujuan a love letter in front of everyone in the basketball court. But he just held the basketball and glanced at me with a smile. Sister, you look too restless. I don't like it. As he spoke, he pointed to the top of his head and glanced at the lawn in the distance, which was meaningful. Jujuan always feels that I can wink at men even when I go out to buy a bottle of water, which makes him feel very insecure. When I woke up, I actually went back to 7 years ago when I filled in the college entrance examination application. Without hesitation, I filled into university where Jujuan was, intending to give him a perfect love and eliminate his doubts. But when school started, I saw Jujuan with blue hair, earrings, and tattoos, and I was completely stunned. Is this my innocent boyfriend? I was a little unconvinced, so I leaned on the railing and tiptoed to look inside. Jujuan happened to come back to defense and walked to my side. Seeing me, he raised his eyebrows with interest. Who are you looking for? Based on my understanding of him, this is a sign that he is interested in me. I immediately confirmed that this person was really Jujuan. Jujuan? I looked at him and smiled. Everyone in the basketball court was paying attention to us, and the atmosphere was immediately ignited. Brother Xian is awesome. But I don't know why, the light in Jujuan's eyes faded a little. He glanced at my suitcase and said perfunctorily, "Are you not going to report as a freshman? Then leave me your contact information." This was the first time I had approached someone, and even though this person was my future boyfriend, I was still a little uncomfortable. Jujuan casually lifted the hem of his jersey and wiped the sweat off his face. "I didn't bring my phone, I'll give it to you next time." His voice even had a smile, which made me walk a long way before I realized that I was rejected. It had only been 2 hours since I sorted everything out. I didn't believe it, and I turned back to the basketball court to ask Jujuan for WeChat again. Who knows, it's probably the peak time for classes to end. Many girls gathered at the basketball court to watch. Jujuan was probably taking a break at halftime, surrounded by a group of girls. He smiled nonchalantly, took the drink the girl handed him, twisted it open and drank. He didn't feel shy at all, nor did he look aloof. He was so close yet so far away that anyone who wanted to get close to him felt that they could get him, but couldn't catch him. I held the railing at the entrance of the basketball court and froze in place. Jujuan's college life should not have me so. He will be with someone else, maybe more than one. I want to watch Jujuan, who should belong to me, hug and kiss someone else, and even my vision is a little blurry. Hey Jujuan, that beautiful schoolgirl is here again. You are really good. Someone noticed me and shouted to Jujuan, who was among the women across the basketball court. Jujuan put down the water bottle and looked up. His long eyebrows slightly raised, his expression helpless and quite interested. He can't be with others. After I confirmed my idea, I trotted over. Jujuan, you didn't bring your phone. I can add your friend and ask him to recommend it to me. Jujuan lowered his eyelids a little, glanced at me, and was not very friendly. Wait. After that, he walked towards the pile of school bags, picked up one of the black ones, opened it, took out his phone and walked over. Scan. So you lied to me just to reject me. I lowered my head to unlock my phone, opened WeChat, and didn't even look up at him. Jujuan approved my application, forgot. It was perfunctory and guiltless. After I marked him as future boyfriend, I calmed down and smiled sweetly at him. Jujuan, on the first day of school, take me to the cafeteria for a meal. You don't have time? You can ask your friends to take me. His Adam's apple rolled up and down, which was a sign of impatience. Unexpectedly, he agreed. Okay. Don't get close to women. It will make you unhappy. Really? I can't tell. You were just in a group of women, and you were very comfortable. My tone was full of undisguised soreness. Faith. Jujuan sneered. Do you believe it? In fact, I'm quite playful. Do you really want to play with me? My heart was pulled, and it hurt. I want to play with you, not with you. Hearing what I said, he just smiled indifferently and gently pushed my shoulder. We're here, let's go in. Jujuan's appearance when eating is still as gentle as it was 7 years later. I was thinking about why Jujuan was like this now, and I didn't notice that there was another person next to him. Brother Xian, You just said you were not interested in her sister on the basketball court, and now you're even eating? A white-skinned boy in black clothes winked at Zhujuan, clinging. Zhujuan glanced at me. I knew he was complaining about me, but the words that came out of his mouth were inexplicably entangled, making me feel doubted. It was really crazy. So, sister, do you want to go to the bar with your brother Jean tonight? I looked up at him, nodded and smiled. Of course, thank you for the invitation, Senior. No need to call me Senior, my name is Chen Yu. Chen Yu was probably also very playful. He looked at people when he spoke, and his eyes had some inexplicable meaning. I nodded and didn't respond. But, obviously, Zhujuan, who thought I was restless when he was with me, thought so 7 years ago. He smiled half sarcastically. Sister, I said I was going. If you don't go, of course, I won't go either. Zhujuan, how can you doubt me? Calling others senior, calling me is disrespectful. You can do it. Brother. I looked at him straight without hesitation or feeling shy. He liked me calling him that, at least when we were together 7 years later. Sure enough, Zhujuan narrowed his eyes, and the non-existent tail behind him raised up, shaking proudly and arrogantly. So brother, are you going to the bar tonight? I actually wanted him to go after all. Drinking makes things easier. Go Chen Yu listened to the whole conversation and laughed quite wildly. Zhujuan kicked the leg of his stool unhappily. So, brother is still interested in me, right? Then, why refuse? Are you trying to refuse but still welcome? Zhujuan and his group opened a private room, and I sat next to him very consciously and played the king game with them. The king game without numbers. Zhujuan, I'm the king. I looked at him straight with the cards in my hand. When I drew the cards just now, I wanted to touch the Joker card, and even God heard my voice. Zhujuan took a sip of wine and smiled, but didn't say anything. Then, I want you to kiss me. I pointed to the corner of my lips. The whole box burst into applause. Junior sister is awesome. Awesome junior sister. Sure enough, the smile on his face gradually faded. Knowing that he would not agree, I still made this request, and I was sad. Really? What should I do? I haven't seen him for a long time, and I just want to get close to him. I found a not-so-pretty way out for myself, which was also a gamble. If you really can't do it, let your friend do it for you. Friend? Zhujuan's smile completely disappeared, and he looked at me with a raised eyebrow. Chen Yu was the first to react. He patted Zhujuan on the shoulder and said with a smile, to be honest, this schoolgirl is pretty wild. Can't you let me do it for you? Zhujuan put down the wine glass lightly, raised one corner of his lips, and smiled wickedly. What the hell? Get out of here. After that he pulled me into his arms and I slammed into his chest hard. He pinched my chin and stared at me. You'll call me friend for everything. Do you want to pick me up or someone else, huh? You? This word fell. And the kiss fell. Seeing his posture, I thought he would want to kill me like in my memory, but it was just a light kiss. It even made people doubt whether his thin lips came close. The king's turn was Chen Yu. Zhujuan, let your sister sit on your lap and play a game. Chen Yu held a cigarette in his mouth and smiled at him. Before I made a move, Zhujuan took the wine glass and drank it all. The light-colored liquid slid down his chin, tempting but more hurtful. He poured another glass silently and drank it. I spoke. But I'm willing to sit on your lap. I won't drink. You don't comply with the king's request. You will be fined 2 glasses of wine. Well, I'll do it for you. Zhujuan didn't look at me and continued to pour the wine, his voice lazy. He drank 4 glasses of wine in one breath. Everyone seemed to have forgotten that he rejected me and applauded. I forced a smile and catered to him. The next person became the king and made the same request as Chen Yu. I looked at Zhujuan pouring the wine and lowered my head in embarrassment. I grabbed the hem of my skirt tightly and wanted to find a reason to leave, but was easily comforted by the senior sister next to me. Junior sister, don't be sad. This is Zhujuan's first time playing games and drinking. I am really honored to make him so embarrassed. The senior sister smiled and hugged her boyfriend. The senior student added very sensibly, it means Zhujuan is scared, understand. It's not that he doesn't want you to sit, but he doesn't dare, junior sister. Sure, take down our brother Xian who's been through thousands of flowers. I couldn't help but burst out laughing. It feels like it's still a long way from being taken down. That's not right. It's okay to play with it. But if you really take him down, he will be annoyed. We really want to see it, junior sister, come on. Suddenly I like Jujuan again. He was drunk too much, although it was not obvious on his face, but the corners of his eyes were slightly red. This is a sign that Jujuan is drunk. He has long eyes, his eyelids are restrained, and only open at the corners of his eyes. Now he is half drooping his head, which makes my heart beat. My boyfriend is so handsome. Are you going to eat me? Jujuan drank too much, and his voice has changed, low and sexy, no longer as clear as before. I swallowed subconsciously, not either. It's not impossible, but he took it out of context before I could say it. If you're afraid, go back early and don't pester me. Jujuan leaned on the sofa, and his long arms naturally rested on the sofa behind me, as if he was holding me in his arms. I pressed the phone. It was already 11 o'clock. I'm a little tired, but it's too late to fly back now. What did you do before? Jujuan raised his eyebrows and raised his chin slightly across the street. Huh? So, have you been with someone else? My heart seemed to choke. Forget it. He didn't know me before. Don't think about it. Grasp the future. I didn't bring my ID card. I pulled the hem of my skirt. Well, so what? Jujuan's slender fingers fiddled with the cigarette, but didn't light it. Can I share a room with you? Jujuan couldn't help laughing. Sister, do you think I'm a vegetarian or a moron? I just want to sleep, but if you really want to, I don't think it's a big deal. It's okay if it's you. That, Jujuan cursed, threw away the cigarette in his hand, took the black coat beside him and covered my head, and hugged me away. My heart was beating all the time. No way, I'm not ready yet, although I had it before. It wasn't the little Jujuan who was under 20 years old, not the wild Jujuan with blue hair, but the Jujuan who was dressed in a suit and silver-rimmed glasses, 7 years later a gentleman. He pushed me in, and the light was turned on. I pulled off the coat on my head. Jujuan leaned against the door, glaring at me. His eyes were not friendly. Don't call me in the future. Sleep well. Where are you going? Go back, stay up all night. I was really crazy. This guy brought me here with such a big show, and I was teased by so many people. I was prepared mentally, but he actually went back to drink. Do I? I hesitated for a long time to organize my words. Are you not interested in me? Jujuan was about to turn around and leave, but he stopped and looked at me seriously. Not really, but I'm not picky about pretty girls. The clothes in my hand were squeezed tighter and tighter by me. Dignity asked me to give up him. Such Jujuan is not what I like, nor can I impress him. But when I thought about how he treated me so well and how insecure he was 7 years later, my heart softened. I complained angrily, Jujuan, if you see me 7 years later, you will fall in love with me at first sight. Jujuan sneered, hypochondria. You have it now, but you just won't admit it. If your mind is not clear, just sleep well, dear. Jujuan gave me a perfunctory smile, closed the door, and left. The weather is not very good today, and our department is training in the basketball court. I was a little absent-minded, staring at another basketball court next to me. Come on, that girl, the 7th in the 3rd row. What are you looking at? What is so beautiful? The instructor really found something wrong with me. Report to the instructor. I'm looking at my future boyfriend. Jujuan's three-pointer was off. Our department and his brothers were all laughing. Brother Xian, this is the first time I've seen such a beautiful and awesome sister. Just give in. Jujuan passed the ball over. Play basketball. Stop talking nonsense. The instructor was a little speechless and thought I was funny. Girls nowadays are very brave. He smiled kindly, then changed his tone to become stern. Just because your boyfriend is across from you, you can't train properly. Do 30 squats. Start now. I finished squatting honestly and waited for the instructor's decision, but he waved at me and asked me to join the team. Okay, everyone take a break. Does anyone want to perform a talent? The little girl who is looking at her boyfriend. Do you want to come over and perform? To be honest, I dance pretty well. Yes, thank you, instructor. I ran up and connected my phone to the instructor's speaker and played a song. When the music started, Zhujuan's brother stopped very sensibly, holding the basketball and winking at him. Brothers Yan, look at your sister dancing. Where does my sister come from? Zhujuan leaned against the pillar of the basketball hoop and looked at it casually. A lover's sister is no longer a sister. Huh? After the dance, the classmates applauded enthusiastically, and Zhujuan's friends also applauded, so Zhujuan clapped his hands twice for the sake of courtesy. I ran to him under the pretext of getting water. How was the dance? It's so ordinary. She was obviously very beautiful. Zhujuan chuckled and lowered his eyes. It's just so-so. Really? It will grow. I have evidence. I will be great in 7 years. Zhujuan was probably thirsty, pursed his lips, and his Adam's apple rolled up and down. No girl brought you water today. Yeah? How can you make do with mine? I don't mind. Anyway, we will be a family sooner or later. Zhujuan rubbed his eyebrows, looking helpless and irritable. I mind you gather, don't stand here. I snorted coldly, trotted a few steps and took out a new bottle of drink from the water dispenser. In fact, I didn't expect to meet Zhujuan today, and I didn't even remember that I bought an extra bottle of drink. Everything was so natural, without a trace of illogical ity. I walked over with a smile. I brought it to you. With me in the future, you will not only not suffer, be tired, thirsty or hungry, but you will also not have to accept other girls' kindness and add unnecessary psychological burden. After that, I stuffed it into his arms. Waved at him. Zhujuan poked the side of his tongue. You were just flirting with him when you had nothing to do. It was dismissed at noon, and Zhujuan and his friends also finished. Who knew they didn't go? I ran up. Zhujuan, where are you going? Internet cafe. Zhujuan glanced at me. Don't you want to eat? Take out, you go back. I want to go together. Zhujuan suddenly reached out and patted my head gently. You still have military training in the afternoon. Don't be unable to walk when you see me, huh? My face couldn't help but blush. He is so narcissistic. We are already an old couple, and I was a little bit floating in the afternoon after being flirted with by him. It wasn't until I saw a group of them coming back on the playground, and a girl in a black dress and black leather boots was walking next to him, that my heart dropped. So, he didn't take me with him. So, he took another girl, right? This girl, I remember, was my classmate when I was in university. We didn't have a good relationship, and we often played dirty with each other. Did I change other people's fate by coming to university? I frowned and shook off the absurd fatalism in my mind. Thoughts. Zhujuan probably felt my burning, angry gaze, and tilted his head to look over. He was stunned for a moment, showing a guilty expression. Then he calmed down and walked over as if nothing had happened. During the break, I couldn't help but send him a message. You didn't take me with you, but brought another girl. My friend called me. Why is she standing next to you when your friend called her? Hi. Sing. Then don't you know to stay away from her? Reason? I was suddenly depressed. He was single, and I was just a dispensable dog. When I was about to turn off my phone and feel sad alone, Zhujuan suddenly added, try your best. He was resurrected on the spot. I said he had a crush on me. Zhujuan and I were both from the Fort College. The school organized a college dance competition, and there were not enough boys. Because of his overly good image, he was pulled to make up the number. When I saw Zhujuan in the dance studio, my eyes lit up. A teacher asked us to choose our partners. Without saying anything, I rushed to Zhujuan and became the fastest one in the audience. Zhujuan took a small step back. Don't be such a bandit. You are a person who attracts bees and butterflies and has no male ethics. I am late and you must be with someone else. You know me well. Zhujuan laughed, his eyelids drooping, and he was simply full of charm. I put one hand in front of me and bowed slightly to him, saying in a very dramatic way, my dear little prince, I wonder if I have the honor to dance with you. Zhujuan put his index finger on my forehead and said a little arrogantly, sure. The dance was quite hot. because I was particularly impolite and had no gentlemanly hands. Zhujuan squinted his eyes and put his hand on my exposed waist after being gentlemanly twice. It's pretty thin, Zhujuan whispered in my ear. I tilted my head and did the next dance move, laughing. Brother can pinch it off. Sure enough, the hand on the waist tightened a little. He sneered and said nothing more. But when people are unlucky, even drinking cold water will make their teeth ache. I had just practiced dancing for half a month, and my relationship with Zhujuan was so ambiguous that I would blush when anyone approached me. I got up from the bed in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, stepped on empty air, and fell. My roommate took me to the hospital for examination, bone correction, and plaster. When everything was stable, I sent Zhujuan a tentative message. Brother, it's the middle of the night. Are you crazy? It was 3 o'clock in the morning. You didn't sleep at 3 o'clock. Are you thinking about me so much that you can't sleep? I was woken up by you. So you dreamed about me. What's the matter? I hesitated for a long time and considered the words. If I don't dance with you anymore, will you dance with other women? I don't think you will. I had a little luck in my heart. The middle of the night is a good time to dream. I'm Nemo. After all, I'm almost at the top of the list by dancing with him. There are still 20 days before the competition. If he dances with other girls, my marriage with him will definitely fail. I was suddenly in a sad mood and didn't notice that the other party kept saying, the other party is typing. Who do you like? Not with me, when Zhujuan sent this message. I was confused and could imagine his sneer. Don't tell. You're really good. You're making fun of me? He was anxious. I was so anxious that I didn't have time to explain, so I slapped him and accused him. Brother, my leg was broken, but you didn't feel sorry for me, but suspected that I climbed the wall and was heartbroken. I laughed like a madman, scaring my roommates around me. Are you stupid because of the pain? My roommate came over to touch my head and saw my chit scream, then stepped back speechlessly. In the school hospital, Zhujuan sent another message. I nodded frantically, and it was my roommate who reminded me that I replied. They left, leaving me as a patient waiting for my husband. Zhujuan came running, panting, and the blue hair on his forehead was a little wet. He bent over and supported his knees to stand in front of me, looking at me with his eyelids raised. His hair stuck to the cold white skin. How did you fall? From the bed. You are so stupid. The sky was turning pale, and Zhujuan pushed my wheelchair to the girls' dormitory. Can't practice dancing with you tomorrow. Are you going to find another woman behind my back? I was so upset. Zhujuan paused. It's above board. I can't stop you from running to a better person, right? I cried twice in a fake manner. Zhujuan didn't say anything, and I felt that there was no point. When we got to the dormitory building, he suddenly walked up to me and picked me up. The kind of princess hug. My face turned red instantly, and he didn't even take a breath. It's not good to quit the college competition. You can come to supervise me. My heartbeat also stopped secretly. Zhujuan, if you like me, you should say it out loud. Zhujuan looked down at the stairs. Do you believe I will throw you down? I was so scared that I quickly hugged his neck. Murder me, so you can find a new one. I promise to be with you. If you do it again, you are hypocritical again. Shut up. Although the process was very tortuous, I still got a boyfriend when I arrived at the dormitory door. I said that he had liked me for a long time. I slept happily and didn't have to go to military training. Every day I ate and waited for my roommate to feed me, struggled to get out of bed to take a shower, played games, and flirted with Zhujuan. It's just that my leg healed abnormally fast, and the plaster was removed in 10 days. Finally, I caught up with the game, and Zhujuan and I were partners. After the game, I had my first date with Zhujuan. I went to play werewolf with his good brothers. Since I had no experience, I played the role of God with the least technical skills. Close your eyes when it's dark, werewolves. Please open your eyes. Please confirm the target you want to kill tonight. Sure enough, after I said this, Zhujuan's werewolf brothers had no communication, But they were in sync and killed him, unanimously. Which, please open your eyes, he was killed tonight. Will you save him or not? Jujuan is so pitiful, no one has saved him yet. Please, open your eyes. Please confirm the target you want to check. I looked at Jujuan, who opened his eyes beside me, made a gesture with my right hand pointing at his head, smiled, bent down and whispered in his ear, "Bang, you are dead, dear prophet." Jujuan narrowed his eyes, tilted his head and kissed him. In the silent room, everyone closed their eyes, and Jujuan gave me an unexpected and strong kiss. My heart almost jumped out of my chest, and I stood up quickly. Please confirm the target you want to check. Jujuan confirmed the target, and after dawn, I announced his death. Chenyu spit out a cigarette. He's dead. Why are you spreading dog food? It's good to go to heaven and see God early. Jujuan put his hands on the back of the chair behind me and smiled. Disgusting. Player number 7, please don't have irrelevant conversations. Player number 7, Chenyu cursed with a smile. Although the first date was to play with everyone, I was still very happy. When Jujuan sent me back to the dormitory, he took out a box from his pocket. What? I didn't even remember to prepare one for you. I know you have no conscience. Jujuan curled his lips and rubbed my head. Go up. But no, I'm so sad. I didn't prepare a gift for you. Jujuan leaned over to me, looked into my eyes, and his thin lips got closer and closer. Just when I thought he was going to kiss me, he suddenly spoke. I gave it to you. When? I was stunned. During the werewolf. He blushed. I blushed too. This sweet and sweet life lasted for about 3 months, and I even got a superpower inexplicably. Dreams come true. For example, I dreamed that my roommate failed a course, and went to the office to cry and beg the teacher to help him get it back. And it really worked. For example, the college organized team building, which is usually separate for each grade. I was regretting that I couldn't be with Jujuan, and I dreamed that the college announced that the freshmen and sophomores would go together this year, and it really happened. After getting in the car, I pulled Jujuan. Brother, I was thinking that it would be nice if we were together this year, but who knew that we would really be together? Jujuan raised his eyelids and glanced at me. So clingy? He reached out and rubbed my head. You have a rich imagination. Maybe because of this exchange I dreamed of a scene where I wanted to kill Jujuan. I was so angry that I woke up immediately. Are we destined to be together? Oh, you don't want me to stick to you. You want to secretly play with others behind my back. I leaned on his shoulder to sleep and ignored him. When I saw him again, he was hugging a beautiful woman with a transparent shirt. Jujuan saw that my expression was wrong and touched my forehead. What's wrong? You cheated in your dream. Are you guilty? Jujuan withdrew his hand and smiled at me coldly. What? The doubt was written on my small face. Jujuan lowered his head and pulled out a photo from his mobile phone, and posted it on the confession wall. I fairy CP, one of which was my classmate Chen Jinshan holding me up when I was about to fall. I swallowed my saliva. This is an accident. Jujuan snorted coldly. I'll settle with you when I have time. I was caught all of a sudden, and I never dared to lose my temper with him for the things in my dream again. I followed him obediently and softly to climb the mountain. When we reached the top of the mountain, my classmates and I set up the tent. The task assigned to Jujuan's group was to collect firewood in the mountains. We separated. Slowly, the raindrops fell. The tent had just been set up when the heavy rain poured down. This suddenly reminded me of the things in my dream. It was like a premonition. I rushed into the rain curtain regardless of my classmates' obstruction. I found the pavilion in my memory. Jujuan really hugged the girl who was soaked in could see everything clearly. Our eyes collided, and I was in a state of embarrassment. Jujuan pushed the girl in his arms away and stretched out his hand to me. Liu King, come here. If it wasn't for coming here to listen to his explanation, why would you have to brave such a heavy rain to humiliate yourself? I stood where I was. Come here. I wanted him to get wet with me. Jujuan walked into the rain without hesitation, came over, covered my head with his coat, and hugged me forcefully. It's better to confront each other, so that you don't think I'm fooling you. She was about to fall into the rain. I rescued her, and just as I was about to let her go, she held my hand and confessed her love, and you came. Hey, don't you think so? The girl's face became redder and redder, and she nodded and apologized fiercely. Sorry. Then she ran away, leaving the two of us soaked and confused. You came to me in such a heavy rain because you were worried about me. Zhujuan bent down and pressed against my forehead. His long eyes curved into an arc. My ears were a little red. Worrying about him cheating can be considered worrying. Zhujuan probably understood my behavior as shyness, laughed wildly, and then kissed me. What do I need so much? Narcissism. It's obvious that you like me very much. After being caught in a heavy rain, I really caught a cold after returning home. Zhujuan was tough, nothing happened, and he even bought a small pot to make rock sugar and snow pear for me. Such a simple thing, he can also make it taste terrible. I ate and fomented. I couldn't help but miss Zhujuan 7 years later, a good husband and a good father. Even the boiled water he boiled tasted better than ordinary people. The key is that some things really can't be thought of, especially after I unlocked this mess of superpowers. I dreamed that Zhujuan, 26 years old, was cooking for me. Sure enough, after class in the afternoon, I returned to the dormitory, and Zhujuan, 26 years old, stood in front of me. I was completely confused. Zhujuan's thin lips curled slightly. You really came? Zhujuan's face turned a little colder when he saw me standing there without walking towards him. He turned a love triangle into a love affair. I hurried forward and hugged his arm. Brother, let's talk outside. The school is not safe. Zhujuan was like a cat with its fur standing up. As long as you stroke its fur, it will be docile. So he didn't say anything, nor did he resist, and accompanied me to leave T University. Are you saying that I accidentally touched the machine in your study and my consciousness traveled through time? That's not the point. Zhujuan hugged my waist and pouted. Then what's the point? Break up with him. He is also you. Please don't act like I cheated on you, okay? Zhujuan looked a little unhappy. I can take you away after about a month, when the time and space are stable. Do you think I can tolerate you dating someone else for a month? Do you think I can bear to break up with you? I looked at him pitifully. Then I'll go find him. Is there any difference? You don't treat him as you either. In his eyes, isn't it me who cheated on him? Zhujuan might be a little unbelievable. He tilted his head and looked straight at me. His thin lips pressed into a straight line. Do you feel sorry for him? Do you feel wronged for me? A string in my head was tightly stretched. If I said it wrongly, I would be dead. It's all you. I feel sorry for you. How about this? Give me some time. I'll talk to him clearly. I held his hand and gently kissed his slender fingers. Zhujuan's eyelashes trembled slightly, but unfortunately he was still not moved by my beauty. 3 days. 3 days? 3 days is too short. How about a week? I was the one who pursued her and dumped her. It's outrageous. How could I dump her? Of course I was pretending to obey her, but not to obey her. A month is only 4 weeks. You think it's possible? After a month, we will leave. Time and space will automatically correct your traces. He will forget you. Everyone here will forget you. Do you understand? Zhujuan pulled out the hand I was holding and pinched my chin gently. I rubbed his palm gently. Okay? He was probably satisfied. Zhujuan came here alone. He had no ID card and no money. I rented a single apartment for him near the school and transferred some money to him. My little canary class is about to start. I have to go back. Zhujuan leaned against the door frame, put his arm around my waist and kissed me on the lips. Do you still regard him as your wife? No. I dare not. Dealing with Zhujuan is more tiring than running a marathon. I returned to school with a tired look, and happened to see little Zhujuan playing basketball on the court. This kind of youthful and unruly look is really rare. I smiled and leaned on the railing to watch. This guy really has no male ethics at all. With so many girls around him, He just lifted up his kisser to wipe his sweat without any scruples. I saw the Morse code again. It was very strange. I clearly remember that Zhu Juan's waist was not smooth 7 years later. Even if the tattoo was washed off, there should be a little scar. Hormones were everywhere. I was really a little unhappy. Still looking over here. Zhu Juan loosened his hem and waved at me with raised eyebrows. He was so coquettish even though he knew I was here. He was really good. I squeezed into the basketball court. Zhu Juan glanced at me. Didn't you say that you would never let me suffer from thirst and hunger again? Sexy, a burst of uncontrollable exclamations. You won't follow my ethics, you deserve it. I reached out and patted his lower abdomen. Zhu Juan supported my shoulders and took a step back. Don't touch me. You have to be responsible. You are being hypocritical with me. You are so jealous. My face turned green. But Zhu Juan suddenly pinched my face. They turned their backs to me. Only I saw it? Isn't it specially lifted from me to see? How could it be so? Who wants to see it? Your eyes are glued to me, sister. Zhu Juan took me and walked out. You should say what you want. Don't be so stubborn. I want you to allow me to have a grown-up you as a boyfriend. I don't know if it will work. 3 days passed in a flash, and Zhu Juan disappeared quietly outside the school for 3 days. It even made me think that day was just my imagination. Zhu Juan didn't have class today, so he came to accompany me, but a pop-up window suddenly appeared on my phone. It's been 3 days, and you broke up. When I saw this message, my blood almost flowed backwards. 3 days ago. It was not even a second off. As accurate as a robot. I quickly pushed the pop-up window up and glanced at Zhu Juan beside me. His expression was indifferent, as if he didn't notice. He spoke. His voice was a little hoarse, probably because he was in class, so he deliberately suppressed his voice. What? No. I think my brother is handsome. I smiled sweetly at him. Zhu Juan's expression still didn't change. Oh, really? His reaction was a little wrong. He didn't see it. Licha popped up another window. Liu King, you'd better not lie to me. Dad, Zhu Juan came over and said nonchalantly, what is this? My brother. My beloved brother. Zhu Juan finally laughed, only raising one side of his lip, looking wild and contemptuous. My dear brother, you are my only beloved brother. I said the love words without changing my expression. Zhu Juan's expression gradually eased a little, and he snorted a little proudly. It was hidden for the time being. Both Zhu Juan are so smart. How can I get through a month? I can't bear two. It's difficult to deal with. Believe it. I smiled with satisfaction. I still have classes in the afternoon. After all, freshmen are very busy. Can I come out to have dinner with you in the evening? It's nice for you to go out and play by yourself, just as a holiday. It's boring without you. I don't want to go anywhere. Zhu Juan's voice was muffled. My innocent boyfriend is back again. After comforting him, I saw him leaning against the wall to play in the sun when I went out. This blessing of having two people is really not so easy to enjoy. During lunch, little Zhu Juan was in a bad mood. It reached its peak when he came to see me in the evening. Is there something wrong? Zhu Juan was tall and long-legged and looked cold. The way he glared at me was a little scary. Are you so unhappy? I'll accompany you tomorrow. Just one time I want a dinner with you. I made an appointment with my roommate today. I inserted my hand into the gap between his fingers and gently pulled it. He tightened his hand and laughed. I don't care. Go and have fun by yourself. I rushed to the apartment opposite the school. Before I knocked on the door, Zhu Juan opened it, as if there was telepathy. How could it be so coincidental? Are you in sync? Yes, I'm waiting for you. Zhu Juan smiled and made way. I walked in with the dishes in my hand. I'll cook for you, and eat at home. Although I wanted to cook for him, I didn't want to go out. After all, she wants them. If you don't look carefully, you will definitely not find that these two people look the same. I don't want to be accused of cheating on someone on the confession wall. I just put on my apron when I heard a knock on the door. My intuition told me that it was dangerous, so I rushed to open the door and took a look at the people. It was indeed Xiao Zhujuan. His expression was terribly cold. Zhujuan in the door saw my reaction, unnaturally guessed it. Open the door. Zhujuan came forward and half-wrapped my waist from behind. His tone was light and he suppressed his dissatisfaction. Know what if you guys are quantum entangled and then dephase? Won't I be left without a husband? Zhujuan narrowed his eyes. Are you sure you want to talk to me about physics? Then let's not talk about physics. Let's talk about human nature and feelings. Before I could think about it, the knocks on the door became louder and louder. I tried to fool him. The hairs on my back stood up. I was really scared. I never doubted why I went back 7 years ago. Whether all this was not an accident. Unbuttoning my apron, I used my eyes to comfort Zhujuan who was thinking, and opened the door to go out. Little Zhujuan glanced at me and said in a very sarcastic tone, I really didn't expect that one day I would catch an adulterer. He just let you go out alone? I have doubted this world. Why did Zhujuan in front of me feel that I was restless when he first saw me? Why did he pretend not to like me when he clearly liked me at the beginning? Why again? Heal so quickly. I can everything I want come true so quickly, including that unfamiliar Morse code. Even Zhujuan himself couldn't explain the answer. Don't talk. Or guilty? Huh? Zhujuan stretched out his hand to pick my chin, wanting to look me in the eye. The sound of the door lock being turned behind me rang out, and I quickly pulled it back. Zhujuan narrowed his eyes, protecting that. Are you afraid that I will hit him? He was about to push the door open. No, it's really my brother, believe me, okay? I looked up at him eagerly. Zhujuan's Adam's apple rolled up and down, and his voice was low and hoarse. Liu King, do you think I look like a moron? Really don't believe me. I grabbed the hem of his clothes. Now, I don't want them to meet, and I have to bite the bullet even if the beauty trap doesn't work. All unstable factors must be eliminated, and the worldview is beginning to collapse. His hands actually fell down weakly, and he cursed in annoyance. After that, he dragged me away a little roughly. I'll trust you once, and you can try again. Zhujuan pinched my wrist. I felt a soft feeling in my heart. I couldn't help but throw myself into his arms. I knew that what he gave me was not trust, but dignity. Zhujuan wanted to melt me into his bones and blood, and press the back of my head. Don't leave me. Wanting the occurrence when Zhujuan disappeared directly. I'm really a fucking slut. Give a brutal, aggressive but fragile kiss. He whispered in my ear, and was blown away by the wind. But I stopped little Zhujuan, but not the other one in the door. He leaned against the stairs with his pockets, and his silver-rimmed glasses softened his cold eyes that seemed to be real. When little Zhujuan saw him, he was stunned. You treat me as... His face was completely pale, and even his thin lips lost their color. Is this okay? Tap understanding. Zhujuan spoke coldly, with a slightly suppressed anger. You know it's like this. Why don't you get out? What are you doing here? He's quite good at acting. My wrist was pinched and it hurt a little, so I moved subconsciously, and little Zhujuan released the force. If she really likes you, she wouldn't look for me. And now it's the other person's turn to be angry. Since he already knows there's nothing to feel sorry for, right? Things haven't been figured out yet, and he can understand the current situation the most. But the person standing next to me is so fragile and so young. It's hard to bear him to bear too much. I'll go back to school first, and we'll talk about it later. I gritted my teeth and closed my eyes, leaving the sentence, and pulled little Zhujuan away. I didn't care about the loss that could not be hidden in the eyes of the torch behind me, as if I was abandoned. I won't stand by my side now. Come here. Zhujuan stopped looking at little Zhujuan and put the pressure on me. In fact, it was still Zhujuan, and I should go with him. Little Zhujuan still took advantage of his younger age. After all, I am already 25 years old, and I should learn to care for the weak. When we arrived at school, Zhujuan didn't say anything. I pulled him to sit down on the lover's hill. We haven't had dinner yet. Zhujuan supported himself on the grass with his hands, his expression completely cold. Did I starve you? Really impetuous. But with Zhujuan's temper, he was still able to sit here obediently, which touched me. Are you his girlfriend? I pulled his hand. Yours too. Zhujuan sneered. But he didn't say anything more, nor did he express any doubt. Is he here to take you away? Zhujuan lowered his head, his voice muffled. My memory clearly remembers that Zhujuan is always not the one outside. Why do you always talk hard when you first see me? And think I will cheat on you? I see done wrong. Well, if you have to say it this way, it's not true. I curled my lips. Answer me well, maybe I won't leave and stay with you until 7 years later. You will be with me when you grow up. I touched his head lovingly, just like the person in front of me. Zhujuan was stunned. His slender fingers slowly tightened, and his thin lips pursed tightly. Sad? Yeah, I just feel sad. I fell into silence. Could it be that Zhujuan and who in front of me don't belong to me? What kind of world is this? But he said he was sad, and my mood became depressed. Finally, I spoke with difficulty. I feel moved when I see you, and then I feel very sad suddenly, and I don't want to care about you. What does your Morse code mean? I got up, and I didn't want to eat inexplicable jealousy anymore. Take her home. Take who home? Zhujuan sent me back to the dormitory, but suddenly grabbed my wrist. Go if you want to go. What? I opened my eyes wide. It's only right for you to go back to where you belong. It's only 7 years. He said it was only 7 years, but his eyes were already red. Zhujuan didn't see me again. Zhujuan outside the school was also throwing a tantrum. I sat next to him, but I didn't want to coax him. When he came, I felt friendly and moved, but after that day, my feelings for him became strange. Lu King, is it difficult for you to admit that you have changed your heart? Zhujuan stood in front of me, looking down at me with a cold face. He finally spoke. But what he said was this: did I really change my heart? Did I fall in love with him when he was young? Wanted to argue. No. Zhujuan suddenly leaned over and pressed me, looking at me viciously. Liar. The corners of his eyes were a little red, and his eyes suppressed discomfort. He was too close, too aggressive. And all this hurt me, so I couldn't help but turn my head away. But that was you. The strength in his hand was relieved, and Zhujuan became very confused. Really? Changed your heart? I also suddenly felt empty. This is someone who has been together for a long time. 7 years later, we love each other very much. We what? I cannot recall a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of memory about 7 years later. I only know that I love him, but I can't find a reason to love him. I want to reach out to touch him, but he avoids me. Even if he is the old me, I can't go back. I'm already 26. What's more, he is not me. I was stunned. What? Zhujuan's whole person showed a kind of dejection, a heartbreaking decadence. You had a car accident and lost consciousness. I developed a machine to activate consciousness. All this is your imagination, making you fall into this world of consciousness. I was stunned. What? Zhujuan's whole person showed a kind of dejection, a heartbreaking decadence. Is all this fake? No wonder I can't remember anything about 7 years later, and I don't find it strange. It turns out that everything is fake, and my consciousness has stopped long ago. When you first came, you clearly said, in order to highly integrate your conscious world, I will be deprived of some of my memories. If I can't remember, I will always be here with you. I couldn't hold it back anymore and went forward to hug him, tears sliding down his back. I'm sorry, I want to be with you, but I hope you wake up more. Zhujuan's voice was hoarse and a little bitten like him, but he still gently stroked me. Since all this is the conscious world, there are no rules to follow. I need time to digest these truths. I stay in the apartment all day and show off why I believe Zhujuan's words so much. Because I am indeed very sad. So I don't want to care about you. And too many paradoxes make me have to believe it. I shook my head. Zhujuan reached out to touch my head, but I subconsciously avoided it. His hand froze in my dress. His cold white skin was almost transparent in the sunlight. I'll go cook first. It was like he was fleeing in a hurry. I felt guilty for leaving me alone in the cold sunlight. I had no feelings for such a person. Sitting opposite Zhujuan, he still looked so familiar when eating. Just like the people in school, half rolled up sleeves, slow and methodical. Extremely polite. How could he not be the same person? How could it be an illusion? But it seemed that something was wrong, which made me feel dazed. You can leave in 2 days. If you want to break up, we can go out and talk again. But nothing is more important than you waking up. Zhu didn't look up. He looked calm, but every word made me feel that he was in pain. Yeah. I couldn't say the 3 words, no breakup. At least I didn't want to do that to him. Let him think that I have to stay with him without love, pity him, crush his self-esteem. My conscious world is not perfect in places I have not touched upon. If I leave China, Zhujuan will be able to break through the shackles and take me away. So, on the day when time and space stabilized, we rushed to the airport. It was Xiao Zhujuan. He knew I was leaving today and had confessed everything that night. He also respected my will and never showed up again. He restrained himself. Zhujuan used Zhujuan's ID card. When we were about to board the plane, I didn't know how he broke into the airport. Lu King, come back. He lied to you. Xiao Zhujuan was so out of control that I was heartbroken. Your consciousness will find ways to keep you. When the time is up, turn around with the people around you. No. Lu King. Xiao Zhujuan's voice was behind me. I turned off the screen and nodded. Xiao Zhujuan was chased by a group of security guards. His face was pale. Zhujuan looked at Xiao Zhujuan with a bad face, suppressed his emotions, and comforted me. Looked so pitiful. One after another for a lifetime. The next moment, I suddenly left Zhujuan and drowned there. And he was squeezed into the crowd and squeezed into the boarding gate. Impossible, the person I like from beginning to end will only be him. I will not change my heart, no one. The security guard finally caught up with little Zhujuan. I also ran to his side. He was held down by many people, extremely embarrassed, but smiling happily. I bent over and smiled at him. This person is Zhujuan. Only he is, even if everything here is fake. He is real, my sweetheart. I accompanied Zhujuan to study, grow up, and fall in love with him until time overlapped to 7 years later. The time node to verify everything he said has arrived. I woke up. There were medical instruments all over his body, and Zhujuan, who was lying beside him, had blue hair, silver-rimmed glasses on the side, and his fingers were holding the consciousness awakening machine. He woke up slowly and smiled at me. Little ant, you slept for a long time.